Hello. Today, let's continue with our reading. And to finish the reading set, we will read the passage 3, the New Zealand writer Margaret Mahy. This passage often repeated in computer-based tests in Vietnam. So any viewer from Vietnam, I would highly recommend you practice this one. Okay, and the type of question we will work with today is yes, no, not given. Basically, it's the same with true, false, not given, just different terms. And be careful to use the correct term, because if you use the wrong one, your point wouldn't be counted. Like if this is a yes, no, and you say true, false, it would be the point would be deducted. Next is fill in the blank, but this one is different with what we talked about previously, because we will not be using the exact same word from the reading, but we will use given word here. So this type is much more difficult because you have to actually understand everything on the reading and understand the summary here. The last one is multiple choice. Okay, multiple choice is like a basic type of question, and we often work with these in other field. So I will not explain more. Now let's start. Let's see. So for true, false, not yes, no, not given, of course, we will start reading the first paragraph and then work with this. However, I would see what the other talk about. So for fill in the blank, they talk about theories about Mahy style. And the first question of multiple choice is, what does writer say about the magician of hope? So these are the keyword of to start thinking about this question. Therefore, I will work with yes, no, not given until I see these keywords. Now, please pause the first paragraph and read it. Okay. I think this one is not very challenging. Now, for the first question, Mahy explored the traditional themes of New Zealand literature. For this question, we can see the answer here. They said Margaret Mahy has come to occupy a unique place in New Zealand with writing with innovative fiction and original characterization, suggesting that it's different from the traditional themes. Therefore, this question should be no. Let's see, can we work with the next question? Mahy's children's book have been more popular than her teenage book. More popular, so there's a comparison here that I don't think I see anywhere. Yes, they do mention children fiction. And they do talk about teenage fiction. But if you read carefully again, there's no comparison. So this one must be not given. Okay, because I do see knocks here, so maybe we can answer number 29 too. Criticize each other. Criticize. To criticize mean to find something negative about the other person, right? And we do see the name here. Elizabeth Knox. Knox here too. However, when we read, we will say they said that Knox may be the true inheritance. So this means that they have something in similar, not contradict each other. And they don't say anything about them talking about each other. So this one not given again. We don't often see two not given so close to each other like this. I think we can answer every question in this part. My welcoming to interviewers. We see it right here. She is generous to a fault with her time and attention. With all journalists. Means she welcoming to them. So this is true. Okay, I think this reading pretty easy. Mine is at ease. At ease means feel comfortable. Speaking about her experiences. Okay, if you read the last sentence here, I'm reminded she isn't truly comfortable making herself or her life the heart of any conversation. The heart of means like focus on something. So the question says she at ease talking about her experience. This says she isn't truly comfortable, therefore it is a no. Now I have made a mistake. Have you seen the mistake that I just did? It's right here. I wrote 2. And this is not accepted. Okay, you have to write yes. So please remember that. This is not common for us to have solved 5 questions of yes, no, not given in one paragraph. Other reading, we will have to read more. Now let's see. Let's pause paragraph number for some time to read paragraph number 2. Right. If you finish, maybe you want to pause a little bit more to see if you can do any question for number 32 to 35. Now, let's see the keywords for number 32 because we do see the word theories right here. Mai's determination to earn a living from writing has encouraged her to find ideas for her work in places. And you can see that there's a sentence here. Going out and finding inspiration from her immediate environment. This part suggesting that she find idea for her work in immediate environment means the environment around her in everyday life. Therefore, number 32 would be B. Number 33, the stories themselves are set in locations that are. Here they do say that despite these sometimes mundane origins. The setting for the settings. For her story are delightfully varied. So for this number 33 only, there are words that are quite difficult, right? But we can ignore those words sometimes and focus on the word we know only to find the correct answer. So maybe we don't know dramatic plot twist, we don't know unpredictability of adventures, but we do know high sea and Antarctica. If you don't know Antarctica, please learn it. It consider a must know word. Or library, back of the chair at home. So we are talking about location, right? The location of the story. And here they said the mundane origin, setting varied, means it's the various, it's different. High sea, Antarctica are the word talking about places that are far away, right? While a library and back of a chair at home is someplace close to us. And now we have to find a word that describe these um all these places that we talk about. And the answer for number 33 would be E. Exotic and ordinary. You know ordinary, maybe you don't know exotic, but exotic means foreign, right? It belong to foreign. We belong to another country. So exotic would be high sea and Antarctica, while ordinary would mean library and back of a chair at home. So that's number 33. Next, in terms of characterization, all of our book feature unruly people often. Adolescent, what is it? Okay, I don't see this part, any mention of the character here, so I'll keep reading. Please pause for this and try to finish 34 and 35. Right, so the keyword for number 34 would be adolescent. Adolescents mean teenage, young people who have some ability. We have ability here, so we need a adjective in number 34, right? There are not many adjectives in the answer. There are a lot, but not all adjective can describe ability. If we really read the answer, there only I can describe ability. And the answer is in here too, such as special power, right? Ability to cast spell and supernatural and fantastical ways. So this implied I. Next, the ending. Do we see the ending? Conclusion. Predictable. Feeling absolutely complete. Okay, so what is similar meaning with predictable but complete? It would be H, right? Unsurprising but satisfying. Now, let's move on to 36 and 40. We can see the keyword right at the beginning of the paragraph. Oh, the reading's still long. But the paragraph's quite short. What does the writer say about the magician of old? So let's read. Okay, let's see what do they talk about. So first, it partly based on true history. No, it's entire fantasy. It was restructured in writing process. Yes, right? Because they said here, the story ballooned at one point to 800 pages and had been through at least two substantial rewrites. So I think it is B. But let's see what the others say. Different from conventional stories. Do they talk about that? Does not reflect usual themes. But they said it's a classical. It's a classical hero quest. So number C is wrong, right? Because they said it's different. And they said it's a gold mine of Mahy literacy preoccupation. They said it does not reflect so different, contradict, right? So B is correct answer. Next, let's use that way of reading, okay, and solve number 37 of book trouble. Okay, so have you got the answer for number 37? The answer would be C, right? Because they said here, New Zealand children and parents know so well. And if you asked why the other is not correct, we will see here, reissue in newly illustrated, first appeared in 1991. Illustrated mean to draw out picture to demonstrate for it, right? And it's not because it's newly illustrated. It's written in plain language wrong because it is tongue twisted tale. Has not been read aloud. Has been recited. So those, the others are false. Number 38, fifth paragraph, purpose. Okay, this is the fifth paragraph. Let's quickly go through this. Hey, 38 is not very tricky either. So for this paragraph, the writer talked about how his children and then his grandchildren enjoying reading Mahy's work. So to show how it has changed, not mentioned. Criticize, no. Describe how new media have changed entertainment, no. Illustrate her popularity with generation of children, yes. Number 39, sixth paragraph. This is the sixth paragraph. Okay, this is a little bit more tricky. A, they do not mention it. Sometimes do not finish. Encourage feedback. Maybe. Reader necessary in order to complete a book. Maybe. Mahy does not realize how important she is. Wrong, right? Because they said that she's not ignorant of her popularity means she knows. So now we know for sure that A and D are wrong. Only B and C left. She said a book is not properly finished until it has been read. Because of this, I think C would be the correct answer. Because it's the exact same meaning, right? A book is not properly finished until it has been read. Mean even though she finished writing the book is not finished until someone, some reader read it. 40, final paragraph. Okay, the number 40 is quite obvious, I think. Now, the answer for number 40 would be A. Quite obvious. But I understand if you sometimes confuse it with B, because there is something comparing here. They said though his writing was very different from Mahy's, and some people would say, oh, they are comparing. But you have to consider the whole paragraph, not one sentence for this question, because they are explaining, right? They are explaining her view to the world, like her peculiar way of looking at the world. And then they make an example of how different would she look at the world. This is the example to support this sentence, this view here. And then they end the paragraph. Wonderful comment on Mahy's vision. So the whole paragraph is pointing to A. So A must be the correct answer, not B, even though they do talk about that, right? Even though they do compare very slightly here, but A must be the correct answer. So now we have finished. There is still one type of question I have not covered, which is the matching information. So I think I will prepare one more lesson for reading, and then you are prepared for it with all the necessary skill. The thing we need most for reading, again, I still emphasize, is vocabulary. Please read and learn vocabulary.